what about the new roles of design? So like, I think this is gonna create new roles for designers. I think we kind of touched upon a few already, but one that we didn't, and I think could be super interesting is, I don't know, I just dubbed it as a prompt interface designer. You know, when Amazon Alexa came out, it was kind of, oh, there's a new role. It's called voice user interface design, right? And right now, a lot of people are struggling. I wouldn't say struggling, but like, I mean, it's very easy to use ChatGPT, right? You just type in stuff and you get it out. But when you get frustrated with the result, that's when you're like, okay, what do I do now? Do I use Dash and then learn and then I put in something, or like, you know? And I think this is going to be interesting, like human to machine problem that should be designed, like this prompt interface.
100%. I mean, it's interesting because like immediately when DALL-E 2 came out, there have been also like, there was I think people coined it as like prompt engineers, and there were even platforms that sold prompts because people were like, oh my God, instead of buying an image, again, it's similar to the style economy of like, you know, I buy somebody who's really, that's a craft, like crafting a prompt. My push there would be, can we make the interface more human? You know, that you basically, it's just voice-based, you talk to it and it's just like, it's almost a conversation, similar to what you could have like with ChatGPT at this moment. And at a certain point, it just understands you because currently it feels very clumsy and it feels like you need to speak the language of the machine. And now it's almost like ironical that then people use ChatGPT, another AI, to say, I mean, I just did it yesterday. I typed into ChatGPT again, like, help me write an amazing prompt for Mid-Journey doing this. And it wrote me one, and I'm like, cool, now I'm telling a machine, it's like a translator. It's like, I don't speak proper Mid-Journey.
Yeah.
Can you translate?
Interesting. And did it work?
Yeah, it worked amazingly because obviously it knows what it's trained on. It's even better if you use DALL-E 2 because both are like OpenAI based. But I mean, try it out. It's really amazing. And some of the prompts you would feel like, come on, that will not work. And then you put it in and like, oh, it works. Because I was more surprised that the language felt almost like more human. You know, that ChatGPT was, you know, I wanted to create this kind of psychedelic, almost like what the Beatles had for Yellow Submarine illustration for a birthday card. Yeah. And I was writing it more like, you know, like a machine, be like, surreal illustration, simplistic, many colors. And then I gave it to ChatGPT and it wrote like, things are floating in the air, merging with each other. And I'm like, this sounds like a poem, and it worked so much better.
This is so interesting because I think we've been trained by Google to just type in like keywords.
I know.
Just gave me like, like when I'm talking to Google, I'm not saying like, hey, my kid has a fever, blah, blah, blah. I just type in kid, fever, symptom, whatever, I don't know. And then like I get a good result. But now we have to kind of almost untrain ourselves to be like, I need to write a full sentence.
Yeah.
In a way that's even like painful. It's like, I just want to give you the keywords. But I do understand how this could lead, I mean, it should lead to better results because it has just more context for the machine to give you the result.
It's painful because, again, typing is already like something that doesn't come natural. Then we learned, it's a syntax, right? You learned a language to know how to get to results in Google. And I think it will become more conversational. I think the thing that is an interesting paradigm shift for humans to understand, also with, you know, what Google is now steering towards, Bing is steering towards, that this idea of search and generating things might become the same thing. Because that's a little bit of like, you know, if I search something, I assume it has been done before. There might be some, you know, it's like a body of work that has been proven. Just like that's the thinking that I feel we have culturally.
Right.
If it now basically could also just generate results on the go, it's a weird in between. And it obviously, like, I mean, people wrote a lot about what are the kind of downsides of, like, you know, again, like designing for truth and misinformation. But it's an interesting paradigm change that you just have this box and you can just tell it to create a picture, find me a picture, find me a recipe, design a recipe, understand my taste. You know, it's almost like all of those things suddenly become closer to what we could have as an experience.